Hello, good evening and welcome to the Competitive Edges Daily Current Affairs series. Today is 21st August 2026 daily. We are here to help aspirants of civil services, APPSC Group 1 and 2, UPSC, SSC, RRB, Bank PO exams, Police SI and Constables, Junior and Degree College lecturers. Let's dive straight into the news. Moving on to news related to national. According to the Council on Energy, Environment and Water Study, CRAVIS, Odisha's average monsoon rainfall registered an increase of 11%. Background: the study compares rainfall variations across decades to track climate change patterns and extreme weather events. Percentage increase in rainfall, 11%. Baseline period average rainfall, 1981 to 2010 1052 mm. Recent period average rainfall, 2011 to 2024 1159 mm. Organization conducting study, Council on Energy, Environment and Water. An 11th century Jain inscription pillar has been discovered in Dundigal, providing insights into the region's ancient history. Background: the pillar was originally located near a small pond in Dindi and was later shifted to a temple premises where it was found broken in the middle. Time period: 11th century. Artifact type: Jain inscription pillar. Discovery location: Dundigal. Original location: Dindi. Tamil Nadu Minister Raj Mohan presented the policy note for tourism and culture, highlighting archaeological milestones. Background: the State Archaeology Department has achieved milestones redefining the antiquity and global footprint of ancient Tamil civilization. Presenter: Minister Raj Mohan. Focus areas: tourism, culture, and archaeology. Key highlight: antiquity of ancient Tamil civilization. In the World Championships, players like Sindhu and Ayush secured victories, while Lakshya suffered an exit and the pair of Satwik Chirag received a walkover. Tournament: World Championships. Winners: Sindhu and Ayush. Walkover recipients: Satwik Chirag. Notable exit: Lakshya. The Supreme Court of India scrapped the 1978 Worker-Friendly Industry precedent to interpret the term under the new Labour Code based on its own text and context. Background: the 1978 verdict had enabled workers across a wide range of jobs to seek legal recourse and engage in collective bargaining against unfair labor practices. Supreme Court scrapped the 1978 industry precedent. New interpretation will be under the Industrial Relation Code. Term industry will now be interpreted in its own text and context. Constitutional references related to labour laws under the concurrent list of the 7th Schedule of the Constitution of India. V.D. Sathisen expressed readiness to provide all water from a new dam at Mullaperiyar to Tamil Nadu during the South Zonal Council meeting. Background: the meeting also featured discussions urging the Union Government to annul the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Act, 2026. Statement made during the South Zonal Council meeting. Offer made regarding water supply from a new dam at Mullaperiyar to Tamil Nadu. Demand raised to annul the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Act, 2026. Constitutional references established under Section 15 of the States Reorganization Act, 1956. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Shri C. Joseph Vijay sought fair and equitable treatment of southern states by the centre at the 31st Southern Zonal Council meeting. Background: the meeting was held at Mamallapuram and presided over by Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah. 31st meeting held at Mamallapuram. Presided over by Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah. Attended by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Shri C. Joseph Vijay. Highlighted southern states as principal drivers of national economic growth. Static GK: Southern Zonal Council comprises Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Union Territories of Puducherry, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and Lakshadweep. Constitutional references, constituted under the States Reorganization Act, 1956. Security forces launched a search operation in Kathua following reports of suspicious movements near the Udhampur-Kathua border. Search operation conducted in Kathua, Jammu and Kashmir. Triggered by reports of suspicious movement. Operation concentrated near the Udhampur-Kathua border. Static GK, Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir capital, Srinagar, summer, Jammu, winter. The Karnataka High Court observed that every woman rendering services to her family at home is liable to be regarded as a homemaker regardless of holding higher qualifications like a degree, postgraduate degree, or doctorate. The ruling was delivered by the Karnataka High Court. It emphasizes that high educational qualifications do not negate a woman's role or contribution as a homemaker. The observation highlights the economic and social value of domestic labor. The government of Odisha formed an inquiry committee to examine the relocation of villages from tiger habitats following directives from the Odisha Human Rights Commission. Background: villagers alleged that the relocation process was forcible and that their official consent was manufactured. The inquiry committee was constituted following a directive by the Odisha Human Rights Commission. The core issue involves allegations of forced relocation and fabricated consent from villagers residing near tiger reserves. Revisiting historical administrative milestones of the Shri Rajiv Gandhi government, including lowering the voting age, establishing the Centre for Development of Telematics, and introducing the National Policy on Education. The voting age in India was lowered from 21 to 18 years. The Centre for Development of Telematics was established to develop indigenous telecom technology. The National Policy on Education was introduced in the year 1986. Constitutional references: 61st Amendment Act, 1988, lowered voting age to 18. The Patna High Court expressed grave concern over road accidents and public inconvenience caused by pressure horns, directing police officials to issue fines. The court directed police officials to issue challenges for noise pollution violations. Penalties are enforced under Section 192 of the Motor Vehicles Act, 1988. The measure targets illegal pressure horns causing public nuisance and accidents. Examining the historical rise of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh during the British Raj with the objective of establishing a cultural revival. The Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh was founded in the year 1925. Its initial growth occurred during the final decades of the British Raj in India. The stated objective centered on cultural and religious revival. Differently abled children in Kerala are facing severe challenges due to the withholding of Samagra Shiksha funds by the Union government. Samagra Shiksha funds allocated to Kerala have been withheld by the Union government since the financial year 2023-24. The stoppage directly impacts educational and developmental support for thousands of differently abled children. Census training in Manipur's Imphal West district was deferred following protests and a general strike called to demand the updation of the National Register of Citizens before census operations. Census training was deferred in Imphal West district, Manipur. Protests were organized by the Campaign for Just and Fair Delimitation. Demands included the updation of the National Register of Citizens prior to the census exercise. The Ministry of Home Affairs empowered district collectors in West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, and 5 other states to grant citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act. The Ministry of Home Affairs notification empowers district collectors across specified states and union territories. The Citizenship Amendment Act rules first came into effect on 11th March 2024. States empowered include West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh among others. The long-standing Mulla Periyar Dam issue was raised as a key regional concern during the Southern Zonal Council meeting. Background: the Mulla Periyar Dam is located on the Periyar River in the Cardamom Hills of the Western Ghats in Kerala, but is operated by Tamil Nadu. Raised during the Southern Zonal Council meeting. Involves interstate water sharing and safety concerns between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Static GK. The Southern Zonal Council comprises the states of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and the Union Territory of Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and Lakshadweep. Constitutional references, established under Section 15 of the States Reorganization Act, 1956. Talks between the Ministry of Home Affairs delegation and Ladakh leaders failed as bodies insisted on commitments from 22nd May meeting instead of developmental diversions. Background: apex bodies like the Leh Apex Body and Kargil Democratic Alliance have been demanding statehood, 6th schedule protections, and job reservations for Ladakh. Ministry of Home Affairs delegation held discussions in Leh. Leh Apex Body and Kargil Democratic Alliance rejected developmental diversions. Demands center on commitments recorded in the minutes of 22nd May meeting. Constitutional references. 6th schedule of the Constitution of India provides for the administration of tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram, which Ladakh groups seek to extend. The Union government capped the inventory for bulk sugar consumers at 15 days to bolster market supplies and control prices. Background: India is the world's biggest sugar consumer and second largest producer. Bulk sugar consumers' inventory capped at 15 days. Previous dealer stock limit was set at 30 days. India is the world's biggest sugar consumer. Union Minister Shri Kiran Rijiju stated that border infrastructure development has become a top priority for the Union government. Statement made by Union Minister Shri Kiran Rijiju focuses on improving connectivity, roads, and strategic assets in frontier regions. Deputy Chief Minister Shri D.K. Shivkumar asserted that the Mekedatu project would benefit neighboring states, addressing complex river water sharing disputes. Background: Mekedatu is a proposed balancing reservoir and drinking water project across the Kaveri River in Karnataka. Involves river water sharing between Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Kerala. Kaveri River dispute managed via statutory water sharing tribunals. The Delhi High Court ruled that live-in relationships are akin to marriage and consenting adults have the fundamental right to choose partners without third-party interference. Delivered by the Delhi High Court. Affirmed that consenting adults can cohabit freely. Prohibits interference from parents, friends, or outside entities. Constitutional references, protected under right to life and personal liberty as per Article 21 of the Constitution of India. The Director General of Police Office announced the formation of vigilance cells to monitor, prevent, and inquire into allegations of corruption, misconduct, and abuse of position by police personnel. Cells created to handle complaints regarding corruption and unethical practices by police personnel. Initiative managed through the Director General of Police Office. Water Resources Minister announced the construction of 27 check dams across major rivers and a protective wall along the Adyar River to mitigate floods. Total of 27 check dams planned across major rivers. Protective wall to be constructed along the Adyar River on the lower side of Jafar Khanpet Bridge. Budget allocated for the Adyar River wall project is Rs 25 crore. India barred a JP Morgan entity along with other firms over alleged closing auction manipulation. Firms involved include Copthall Mauritius Investment and Mansi Share and Stock Broking. Date of alleged violations, 13th August. Odisha climbed to the 7th position nationally in rooftop solar installations under the Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Yojana. National rank achieved by Odisha, 7th. Total systems installed, 1.74 lakh. Scheme name, Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Yojana. The Tamil Nadu State Wetlands Authority submitted to the Madras High Court that construction activities around the Pallikarnai marshland can be regulated rather than completely banned. Interim Zone of Influence prepared by the National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management was submitted to the court. Case handled by the Madras High Court. Static GK, National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management is headquartered in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Barracuda Networks expanded its operations by opening 5 cybersecurity centers of excellence in Karnataka. Number of centers of excellence opened, 5. State, Karnataka. Domain, cybersecurity. A job card campaign was launched across the Mysore district to strengthen rural employment generation programs. Campaign coverage, all to 55 gram panchayats in Mysore district. Objective, strengthen the rural employment scheme. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi emphasized wider engagement with universities and youth to generate unconventional ideas during a high-level meeting with secretaries. Meeting chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi with government secretaries. Highlighted collaborative experiences from the COVID-19 pandemic and the West Asia crisis. Following incidents of rioting in Shillong, the Chief Ministers of Assam and Meghalaya jointly called for restoring peace, trust and normalcy. States involved, Assam and Meghalaya. Location of unrest, Shillong. Caste survey report figures became a point of discussion referencing former Chief Minister D. Devraj's. Topic: Caste survey report figures. Personality discussed, Shri D. Devraj's. A petition in the Supreme Court sought a Central Bureau of Investigation probe into alleged irregularities in the Jharkhand Public Service Commission examinations. Exam body, Jharkhand Public Service Commission. Current investigating agency, State Crime Investigation Department. Petitioner demand, Central Bureau of Investigation probe. Constitutional references, Article 32 of the Constitution of India, writs. Inner Manipur Member of Parliament A. Bimol Akoijam sought the postponement of the census in Manipur due to widespread displacement. Constituency, Inner Manipur. Member of Parliament, Shri A. Bimol Akoijam. Reason cited, conflict-induced displacement. The Jharkhand High Court stayed the termination of permanent employees appointed through the 11th to 13th Jharkhand Public Service Commission examinations. Exams affected, 11th to 13th Jharkhand Public Service Commission examinations. Next hearing date, 15th September. Grounds for stay, principles of natural justice and public interest. The centre approved a High Court bench for Ladakh, fulfilling a long-standing demand for decentralized judicial access. Region, Ladakh. Facility, High Court bench. Objective, easier and faster access to the higher judiciary. Minister Panguleti Srinivasa Reddy stated that the Bhu-Bharti initiative aims to streamline land records and make the state land dispute-free. Initiative name, Bhu-Bharti. Objective, streamline records and eliminate land disputes. State, Telangana. Janata Dal United leader Sanjay Jha stated that the India-Bangladesh Ganga Water Treaty is not in Bihar's interests ahead of its expiration. Treaty, India-Bangladesh Ganga Water Treaty. Expiry date, 31st December 2026. Key personality, Shri Sanjay Jha. Only 2 districts in Karnataka received normal southwest monsoon rainfall, while other regions faced significant deficits. South Interior Karnataka recorded a deficit of -40%. Coastal districts recorded a deficit of -24%. North Interior Karnataka recorded a deficit between -20% and -30%. Bangalore City recorded a severe deficit of -50%. Static GK, the southwest monsoon in India normally spans from June to September, bringing rainfall across the Indian subcontinent. Union Home Minister called for early resolution of pending water-related issues and swift investigation of crimes against women and children during the 31st Southern Zonal Council meeting. Background: Zonal councils were established under the States Reorganization Act, 1956, to promote interstate cooperation and coordination. The meeting was the 31st edition of the Southern Zonal Council. Proposed linking major rivers including the Brahmaputra, the Kaveri, and the Godavari. Highlighted the goal to secure water availability for the next 100 years. Static GK, the Union Home Minister acts as the chairman of all zonal councils. India has 5 zonal councils: Northern, Central, Eastern, Western, and Southern. Constitutional references: Section 15 to 22 of the States Reorganization Act, 1956. The Supreme Court formed a 5-member panel to investigate violence, harassment, and molestation allegations during NET protests. The panel consists of 5 members. The Supreme Court mandated that the inquiry must not be a one-time exercise. Priority is given to allegations of targeted violence and harassment of female protesters. Static GK, NET, National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, is conducted nationwide for admission to undergraduate medical courses. Constitutional references: Article 32 and Article 136 of the Constitution of India. The National Commission for Safai Karmacharis flagged high rejection rates in the Namaste scheme and recommended expanding it to rural areas. Background: Namaste stands for National Action Plan for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. Nearly 1 lakh sewer and septic tank workers were identified under the scheme. Only 810 workers were approved for capital subsidies. Only 147 workers actually received the disbursed funds out of the approved applicants. Static GK, the Namaste scheme is a joint initiative of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Over 43.80 lakh voters in Karnataka are set to receive notices due to logical discrepancies in electoral rolls. Total voters to receive notices: 43.80 lakh. Voters flagged for logical discrepancy: over 20 lakh. People who could not find their or their parents' details in the 2002 electoral roll: 23.45 lakh. Static GK, the Election Commission of India oversees the preparation and revision of electoral rolls under statutory provisions. Constitutional references: Article 324 of the Constitution of India. The Cabinet approved a proposal for cloud seeding operations to combat severe drought conditions in affected areas. Target areas: drought-hit regions. Intervention: cloud seeding technology to artificially induce precipitation. Static GK, cloud seeding involves dispersing substances into the air, such as silver iodide, that serve as cloud condensation nuclei, altering cloud microphysics. Discussions highlight the necessity of strengthening organizational capacity within institutions like the National Testing Agency, rather than relying solely on policy design. Focus area: public administration and institutional implementation capacity. Target organization: National Testing Agency, NTA. Static GK, the National Testing Agency, is an autonomous testing organization created to conduct entrance examinations for higher educational institutions in India. Analysis: revisit the economic reforms of 1991, evaluating their long-term outcomes and societal impacts. Background: India initiated major structural economic reforms in July 1991 under Prime Minister Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh to overcome a balance of payments crisis. Reference book: The Intelligent Person's Guide to Liberalization, 1996, by economists Shri Amit Bhaduri and Shri Deepak Nair. Year of Economic Reforms: 1991. Static GK, the 1991 reforms introduced LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization policies into the Indian economy. The Insurance, Regulatory and Development Authority of India penalized Niva Bupa Health Insurance and ACO General Insurance by barring them from opening new branches after they exceeded prescribed expenses of management limits in financial year 2025. Insurers penalized Niva Bupa Health Insurance and ACO General Insurance. Regulatory body Insurance, Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Violation, exceeding prescribed expenses of management limits. Financial year 2025. Static GK Insurance, Regulatory and Development Authority of India is headquartered in Hyderabad, Telangana, and is the statutory body regulating the insurance sector in India. The United States envoy visited Kashmir for the first time since Article 370 was abrogated, leading to potential recommendations for downgrading travel advisory warnings against visiting Jammu and Kashmir. Background: Article 370 of the Constitution of India, which granted special autonomous status to Jammu and Kashmir, was abrogated in August 2019. Event: first United States envoy visit to Kashmir since Article 370 abrogation. Outcome: anticipated review and downgrading of travel warning advisories for United States citizens visiting Jammu and Kashmir. Constitutional references: Article 370 of the Constitution of India. The Directorate General of Foreign Trade notified that all export invoices can be denominated in Indian rupee or foreign currency for exports outside the Asian Clearing Union, making exporters eligible for incentives. Background: previously, export proceeds were required to be realized strictly in freely convertible currency. Regulatory body: Directorate General of Foreign Trade. Invoicing currency: Indian rupee or any foreign currency. Exclusion: exports to countries under the Asian Clearing Union. Payment modes: foreign currency or Indian rupee. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi urged leveraging universities to gather fresh policy ideas and actively engage youth in governance and policy making. Personality: Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Core appeal: tapping universities for fresh policy inputs and youth participation. The Telangana High Court sought information regarding the state's total debt while addressing an interim stay issued on 12 August concerning the implementation of government orders for Kalyan Lakshmi and Shadi Mubarak schemes due to affidavit filing delays. State: Telangana. Key schemes involved: Kalyan Lakshmi and Shadi Mubarak. Interim stay date: 12 August. Reason for action: government delay in filing affidavits on total debt. Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah announced that the Union Cabinet cleared the establishment of a Jammu and Kashmir High Court bench in Ladakh to ensure comprehensive development and constitutional safeguards. Body: Union Cabinet. Decision: establishment of a High Court bench for Ladakh. Parent High Court: Jammu and Kashmir High Court. Union Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan rejected concerns raised regarding the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment, stating that Odisha will continue to receive auction premiums, royalties, and District Mineral Foundation revenues. Background: the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act governs the mining sector in India and is periodically amended to streamline auctions, boost transparency, and attract investments into industrial sectors. Union Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan addressed the mining taxation framework. Odisha will continue to receive auction premiums, royalties, and District Mineral Foundation revenues. The amendment aims to reduce multiple levies and improve ease of doing business in the mining sector. Static GK: the District Mineral Foundation is a trust set up in districts affected by mining-related operations to work for the interest and benefit of persons and areas affected by mining-related operations under the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act. The Supreme Court of India ruled that pending Industrial Disputes Act cases will follow the 1978 ruling, retaining Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer's triple test definition of industry. Background: the definition of industry under the Industrial Disputes Act has been a subject of judicial interpretation, notably defined by Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer in the landmark Bangalore water supply case in 1978. The Supreme Court ruled that the 1978 industry ruling is not strictly binding on the 2020 code but retained the triple test. Justice V. R. Krishna Iyer formulated the original, triple test, for defining an industry. Pending Industrial Disputes Act cases will follow the 1978 ruling. Constitutional references, Article 141 of the Constitution of India concerning the law declared by Supreme Court to be binding on all courts. The Chhattisgarh Forest Department sought a Central Bureau of Investigation probe into the poaching of 3 tigers at Indravati National Park following the arrest of 2 Maharashtra police personnel. Background: Indravati National Park is a prominent tiger reserve located in the Bijapur district of Chhattisgarh, facing challenges related to wildlife trafficking and Naxal insurgency. 3 tigers were poached at Indravati National Park in Chhattisgarh. Interstate wildlife trafficking is suspected after the arrest of 2 Maharashtra police personnel. The Chhattisgarh Forest Department sought a Central Bureau of Investigation probe. Static GK: Indravati National Park is located in Bijapur district, Chhattisgarh, and was declared a tiger reserve in 1983 under Project Tiger. The Telangana government clarified through its fact-check account that lateral entry for Polytechnic students into second-year engineering will continue without any changes to existing arrangements, fees, or scholarships. Polytechnic students retain lateral entry to second-year engineering in Telangana. No changes were made to existing arrangements, fee structures, or scholarships. Clarification was issued via the official Telangana government fact-check handle. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Global Fintech Fest 2026 in Mumbai, which will focus on artificial intelligence, tokenization, and quantum technology. Background: the Global Fintech Fest is a premier annual event that brings together global leaders, policymakers, startup founders, and technologists to discuss financial technology trends. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will inaugurate Global Fintech Fest 2026. The event is scheduled from September 8th to 11th in Mumbai. Key themes include artificial intelligence, tokenization, and quantum technology. The Chief Justice emphasized that new laws make institutional coordination and technological integration central to modern justice delivery. Focuses on institutional coordination and technological integration in the justice delivery system. Requires stakeholders to understand mutual operational challenges. The Securities and Exchange Board of India released a study showing a decline in aggregate net losses of individual equity derivatives traders. Regulator: Securities and Exchange Board of India. Period: year ended March 2026. Aggregate net losses fell to 916.85 billion rupees from 1.12 trillion rupees. Niti Aayog's skill roadmap validates Telangana's approach as it is covered under the Central PM Setu Initiative. Initiative: PM Setu for upgrading industrial training institutes. State involved: Telangana. The growth rate of 9 key infrastructure sectors was reported for July with a revised base year. Core sectors growth stood at 5.4% in July. New base year introduced 2022-23, replacing 2011-12. Iron ore has been newly added to the index, bringing the total core sectors to 9. John E. Scanlon has been appointed as the independent chair of Vantara's newly established governing council. Appointee: Shri John E. Scanlon, former Sites Chief. Position: independent chair of Vantara's governing council. Entity: Vantara's peak governing body. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shri Sanjay Malhotra stated that stronger dollar inflows prompted the data-driven deadline revision for the foreign currency non-resident bank swap window. The decision involves the foreign currency non-resident bank swap window. The revision was driven by stronger dollar inflows into the Indian economy. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shri Sanjay Malhotra defended the early closure. The adjustment was described as a data-driven policy decision. Static GK: the Reserve Bank of India was established on 1st April 1935 under the Reserve Bank of India Act, 1934, and is headquartered in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Inner Manipur Member of Parliament Professor A. Bimol Akoijam stated that conducting the census exercise under current circumstances would be an injustice to the people of the state. The demand was raised by Inner Manipur Member of Parliament Professor A. Bimol Akoijam. The exercise in question is the national census. The postponement is sought specifically for the state of Manipur. Constitutional references. Census is a union list subject under Article 246 of the Constitution of India, enumerated at serial number 69 of the 7th schedule. The Vice President of India called on young officers to drive inclusive development towards the Viksit Bharat 2047 goal. Target year for the Viksit Bharat vision is 2047. Target audience consists of young civil servants and officer trainees. Focus is on driving inclusive, economic growth and development. The Master Plan for Delhi 2047 envisages massive infrastructure development, including housing units and metro network expansion over the next 2 decades. Target housing units to be constructed, 30 lakh to 40 lakh. Proposed expansion of the Delhi metro network, 695 kilometers. Time frame of the plan, next 2 decades up to 2047. Key provisions include permission for taller buildings. Chief ministers from southern states deliberated on contentious water and administrative issues during a zonal council meeting. Key river disputes raised, Kaveri, Mullaperiyar and Mekedatu. Additional concerns raised, parliamentary constituency delimitation and interstate water sharing. Platform utilized, zonal council meeting. Constitutional references. Zonal councils are established under Section 15 of the States Reorganization Act, 1956. The Central Board of Film Certification implemented stricter regulations stipulating that alterations or cuts made after obtaining board clearance will attract penalties. Regulatory body involved, Central Board of Film Certification. New rule targets alterations or cuts made after formal board clearance. Violation will attract financial or legal penalties. Static GK, the Central Board of Film Certification, is a statutory body under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, headquartered in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Metro Rail authorities proposed renaming the Kochi Metro to Kerala Metro to reflect its expanding role in urban transport projects across Kerala. Proposed new name, Kerala Metro. Current name, Kochi Metro. Reason for renaming: expanding operational scope in urban transport projects across Kerala. A new Supreme Court bench led by Chief Justice of India Shri Surya Kant was constituted to hear review petitions challenging the sweeping powers of the Enforcement Directorate under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Background: the Prevention of Money Laundering Act grants wide powers of arrest, search, and seizure to the Enforcement Directorate, which have been subject to multiple legal challenges regarding constitutional validity. Bench led by Chief Justice of India Shri Surya Kant focuses on review of powers under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Deals with petitions challenging Enforcement Directorate procedures. Constitutional references: Article 32 of the Constitution of India, Article 137 of the Constitution of India. The National Institute of Securities Markets and the Securities and Exchange Board of India organized a national financial literacy quiz in Bengaluru to promote responsible investing among youth. Organized by National Institute of Securities Markets and Securities and Exchange Board of India. Held in Bengaluru. Aimed at strengthening awareness of financial markets among young minds. Static GK, Securities and Exchange Board of India headquarters is located in Mumbai, Maharashtra. A senior commerce official emphasized that Indian industry must utilize free trade agreements and focus on value addition to build supply chain resilience. Share of capital goods in export basket rose from 13% in 2014 to 19%. Emphasized supply chain resilience against concentration risks in upstream materials. The central government informed the Supreme Court that the University Grants Commission Equity Regulations 2026 are under reconsideration following judicial stay observations. Background: the Supreme Court had previously stayed the 2026 regulations, terming the framework prima facie vague with potential sweeping societal consequences. Regulations in question: University Grants Commission Equity Regulations 2026. Top court stayed the framework earlier, citing vague provisions and potential societal division. Constitutional references: Article 14 of the Constitution of India, Article 15 of the Constitution of India. Chief Justice of India Shri Surya Kant stated that children should not be put under undue academic pressure regarding the Central Board of Secondary Education three-language policy rollout. Court directed the centre to address teacher shortages and rollout concerns. Stressed avoiding academic pressure on young children. Moving on to news related to international. India removed security barricades stationed outside the Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi in a counter-action. Background: this action followed the removal of protective security barricades outside the Indian High Commission in Islamabad by Pakistani authorities 3 days prior. Location of action: New Delhi and Islamabad. Entities involved: Indian authorities and Pakistan High Commission. Alamgir is set to become the first elected president of Bangladesh in 35 years following the landslide victory of Prime Minister Tariq Rahman's BNP in February elections. Background: the elections followed the 2024 revolution that ousted the government of SMT Sheikh Hasina. Alamgir is set to become Bangladesh's first elected president in 35 years. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman's BNP won a landslide victory in February. The elections followed the 2024 revolution. Static GK, capital of Bangladesh, Dhaka, currency, Bangladeshi Taka. The United States national debt has exceeded $40 trillion for the first time due to rising long-term obligations and interest payments. Background: the uptick in borrowing is driven by increasing U.S. obligations linked to Social Security, healthcare, and climbing interest payments. United States national debt exceeded $40 trillion for the first time. Borrowing increased due to obligations linked to Social Security and healthcare. Interest payments on national debt have significantly climbed. Severe economic measures and military impacts have crippled Iran's infrastructure, rendering its currency worthless and military factories into rubble. Iran's navy and air force have been destroyed. Military factories have been reduced to rubble. The Iranian currency has become worthless. Finance Minister SMT, Nirmala Sitharaman, led a ministerial delegation to Singapore for the 4th India-Singapore Ministerial Roundtable on August 19 to 20. Delegation led by Finance Minister SMT, Nirmala Sitharaman. Meeting held on August 19 to 20. Met with Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong to discuss bilateral ties. Static GK, capital of Singapore, Singapore, currency, Singapore dollar. United Nations Deputy Secretary-General Amina Mohammed is scheduled to visit India from August 26 to 28 to discuss sustainable development and cooperation. Visitor: United Nations Deputy Secretary-General Amina Mohammed. Dates of visit: August 26 to 28. Primary agenda: sustainable development and cooperation with New Delhi. Static GK, United Nations Headquarters, New York, USA, Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. Defense Minister Shri Rajnath Singh held bilateral talks with Japanese counterpart Shri Shinjiro Koizumi, leading to the signing of a maritime security pact to deepen defense cooperation. The pact was signed during bilateral talks between India and Japan. Indian delegation was led by Defense Minister Shri Rajnath Singh. Japanese counterpart involved in the talks was Shri Shinjiro Koizumi. Discussions included welcoming Japan's review of its defense equipment and technology transfer framework. Pakistan summoned the United States Charge d'Affaires to lodge a protest against remarks made regarding Jammu and Kashmir, claiming they contradicted established United States positions. Pakistan summoned the United States diplomatic representative over statements concerning Jammu and Kashmir. The diplomatic objection targeted remarks made by official representatives regarding the territorial dispute. India and Japan jointly emphasized the need to oppose any moves impeding freedom of navigation directed against aggressive military posturing in regional seas. Both countries expressed concern over Beijing's military posturing. Focus remains on the South China Sea and East China Sea regions. Stressed adherence to international maritime laws. The United States Commission on International Religious Freedom chairperson called for sanctions against the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh and opposed high-level talks. The United States Commission on International Religious Freedom targets the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh over minority attack allegations. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is noted as a member of the organization. Islamabad summoned the United States ambassador to formally reject references made regarding Kashmir as part of India. Diplomatic summons issued by Islamabad to the United States envoy. Objection raised over the characterization of Kashmir. Officials reviewed logistics and security arrangements for incoming delegates of the BRICS summit. Focus areas: logistics and security. Delegates: BRICS member nations. Dubai Chambers released data showing substantial investments in India and the registration of new Indian companies in Dubai during the first half of 2026. Total investment: $9.3 billion. Number of projects: 147 projects over 10 years. Time frame: 10 years. New Indian companies: 7,579 companies joined Dubai Chamber of Commerce in H1 2026. United States envoy Shri Sergio Gore arrived in Ladakh amidst discussions over potential meetings with the Dalai Lama. Visitor: Shri Sergio Gore, United States envoy. Location: Ladakh, Leh. Context: uncertainty surrounds a potential meeting with the Dalai Lama in Leh. Static GK: Leh is the joint capital and largest town of the Union Territory of Ladakh. Union ministers emphasize that border infrastructure development along the Arunachal Pradesh border remains a top national priority amidst regional security concerns. Focus region: Arunachal Pradesh border sector. Core objective: accelerated development of strategic roads, bridges, and communication networks. Static GK: Arunachal Pradesh shares international borders with Bhutan to the west, China to the north and northeast, and Myanmar to the east. External Affairs Minister Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar held productive bilateral discussions with Singaporean counterparts focusing on semiconductor chips and financial technology cooperation. Indian representative, External Affairs Minister Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. Partner nation: Singapore. Key sectors: semiconductor chips and financial technology. Iran's foreign minister dismissed United States economic threats, stating such failed policies will increase hostility. Iran's foreign minister, Shri Abbas Araghchi, dismissed United States economic threats as failed policies. Geopolitical and trade disruptions are pushing the global economy toward a debt crisis due to political resistance against spending cuts. Background: advanced economies face severe challenges in bringing debt under control due to public resistance to pension reforms and spending cuts. Governments face political resistance to spending cuts and pension reforms. Trade disruptions exacerbate global economic debt risks. Surging long-term bond yields are making sovereign debt affordability a major concern for advanced economies. U.S. long-term bond yields averaged close to 5%. Unlike the global financial crisis period, current borrowing costs are exceptionally high, worsening debt affordability. Janata Dal United Member of Parliament Shri Sanjay Kumar Jha urged the central government to let the Ganga Water Treaty with Bangladesh expire on 12th December and negotiate a fresh pact. Treaty in question, Ganga Water Treaty. Neighboring country involved, Bangladesh. Expiration date cited, 12th December. Proponent of expiration, Janata Dal, United, Member of Parliament Shri Sanjay Kumar Jha. United States Ambassador to India Shri Sergio Gore arrived in Ladakh on his maiden visit to experience the region beyond official engagements. Name of Ambassador, Shri Sergio Gore. Country of representation, United States of America. Destination of maiden visit, Ladakh, India. Global policy discussions emphasize that developments in Taiwan and the South China Sea significantly impact international trade and regional stability. Key geographic zones, Taiwan and the South China Sea. Primary impact, global trade routes, supply chains and maritime security. Involved global stakeholders include the United States and international economies. Google rolled out new artificial intelligence study tools across Search and Gemini to compete with OpenAI's ChatGPT. Tools launched across Google Search and Gemini, aimed at positioning Gemini as the preferred artificial intelligence assistant for students. Pakistan summoned the United States charged d'affaires to lodge a formal démarche regarding remarks made on Jammu and Kashmir during a visit to the Union Territory. Pakistan summoned the United States charged d'affaires. Démarche issued over remarks concerning Jammu and Kashmir. Dhaka indicated that Tariq Rahman is unlikely to visit India prior to the BRICS summit, seeking a respectful invitation and improved bilateral ties. Visit unlikely before the BRICS summit. Focuses on bilateral relations between India and Bangladesh. Static GK, BRICS comprises Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. Bangladesh Nationalist Party Secretary General and Local Government Minister Alamgir was elected as the 23rd President of Bangladesh. Name Alamgir. Age 78 years. Votes secured 255 votes. Position 23rd President of Bangladesh. Total population of country 170 million. Static GK, capital of Bangladesh is Dhaka, currency is Bangladeshi Taka. Meta became one of Microsoft's largest artificial intelligence customers, spending hundreds of millions of dollars annually to access models via Microsoft Azure. Meta spends hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Utilizes Microsoft Azure Cloud Service for artificial intelligence models. Moving on to news related to state, Andhra Pradesh. The Andhra Pradesh government proposed to increase the stipend for junior doctors on a yearly basis with an annual hike of 3% starting from the next year. Annual stipend hike proposed, 3%. Applicable category, junior doctors. State implementing the proposal, Andhra Pradesh. Chief Minister Shri C. Joseph Vijay announced the establishment of a 400-bed multi-super specialty hospital in Perambur during the assembly session. Project cost 300 crore rupees. Bed capacity 400 beds. Location Perambur, North Chennai. Announcement made by Chief Minister Shri C. Joseph Vijay. Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh announced plans to raise unresolved bifurcation matters and infrastructure projects at the Southern Zonal Council meeting. Forum, Southern Zonal Council meeting. Key agenda items, Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act implementation, unresolved bifurcation matters, interstate issues, and major infrastructure projects. State involved, Andhra Pradesh. The Andhra Pradesh government proposed financial assistance of 1 lakh rupees for the families of deceased organ donors to promote cadaver donation. Background, nearly 5,920 people are awaiting organ transplants across the state. Proposed financial aid amount, 1 lakh rupees. Total patients awaiting organ transplants in state, 5,920. Breakdown of waiting patients, -3,000 kidney, -2,000 liver, 100 heart, and 4 pancreas patients. State, Andhra Pradesh. The Andhra Pradesh government informed the High Court that local body elections in the state will be concluded by October. Deadline set for polls, October. Judicial Bench, Chief Justice Lisa Gill and Justice Challa Gunranjan. State, Andhra Pradesh. Constitutional references, Part 9 and Part 9A of the Constitution of India regarding panchayats and municipalities. The Andhra Pradesh Assembly unanimously passed 4 higher education bills easing land norms for private universities and restructuring regulatory frameworks. 4 higher education bills passed unanimously by the Andhra Pradesh Assembly. Regulatory Commission restricted exclusively to fee regulation. Minimum land requirement for private universities in cities reduced to 10 acres. Provision made for skill universities and university-level faculty recruitment with reservation safeguards. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister advocated for closer economic and developmental ties among southern states at a meeting chaired by Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah. Meeting held in Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu. Chaired by Union Home Minister Shri Amit Shah. Focused on regional development, infrastructure, and interstate cooperation. Static GK, zonal councils were established by the States Reorganization Act, 1956 to promote interstate cooperation and coordination. The Andhra Pradesh government issued orders to conduct elections for 100 urban local bodies with a mandated 33.33% reservation for backward classes. Total urban local bodies going to polls, 100. Backward classes reservation implemented, 33.33%. Aims to enhance grassroots political representation. Constitutional references, Articles 243T mandates reservations of seats for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and women in municipalities, while state legislation governs backward classes quotas. A public hearing on Visakhapatnam's Coastal Zone Management Plan is scheduled for 2nd September. Event, Public Hearing on Coastal Zone Management Plan. Location, Visakhapatnam. Date, 2nd September. The Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly passed a resolution to implement the Water Pollution Control Amendment Act, moved by Civil Supplies Minister Shri Nadendala Manohar on behalf of Deputy Chief Minister Shri K. Pawan Kalyan. State, Andhra Pradesh. Resolution moved by Shri Nadendala Manohar. On behalf of Deputy Chief Minister Shri K. Pawan Kalyan. Act, Water Pollution Control Amendment Act. The Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly passed bills to streamline contract staff regularization by bringing the Directorate of Secondary Health under the Andhra Pradesh Contract Employees Services Regularization Act, 2023, alongside pruning local body posts. State, Andhra Pradesh. Key inclusion, Directorate of Secondary Health brought under Andhra Pradesh Contract Employees Services Regularization Act, 2023. Objective, streamlining contract staff regularization and pruning local body posts. Tirumal Tirupati Devasthanams explored deploying a robotic dog to monitor wildlife and conduct surveillance in forest areas and difficult terrain of Tirumal where human patrolling is challenging. Organization, Tirumal Tirupati Devasthanams. Technology tested, robotic dog for surveillance. Location, Tirumal forest areas. The minister directed officials to expedite construction of the E13 road connecting National Highway 16 via All India Institute of Medical Sciences to Amravati and commission it at the earliest. The E13 road links National Highway 16 via All India Institute of Medical Sciences to Amravati. Multiple new road links are planned from various directions to improve connectivity to the capital. The Andhra Pradesh Legislative Council passed 10 bills amidst an uproar by the Yuvajana Shramika Raitu Congress Party, leading the chairman to adjourn the House multiple times. 10 bills were passed by the Andhra Pradesh Legislative Council. The session witnessed an uproar by the Yuvajana Shramika Raitu Congress Party opposition. The chairman adjourned the House 3 times to restore order. Constitutional references, Article 169 and Article 171 of the Constitution of India regarding the Legislative Council. Health Minister Shri Satya Kumar Yadav ruled out a 15% stipend hike for junior doctors in Andhra Pradesh, citing severe financial constraints amid an ongoing strike. Health Minister Shri Satya Kumar Yadav stated that a 15% stipend hike is not possible. The decision was attributed to Andhra Pradesh's tight financial status. Junior doctors continued their strike over the demand. The Chief Electoral Officer announced a 4-day window for voters to verify electoral rolls starting 22nd August, directing districts to streamline claims and objections. Voters in Andhra Pradesh were given 4 days to verify electoral rolls starting 22nd August. The directive was issued by the Chief Electoral Officer. Focus was placed on accelerating the hearing process and disposal of claims and objections. Constitutional references, Article 324 of the Constitution of India vests the superintendence, direction, and control of elections in the Election Commission. The Andhra Pradesh government restored a 34% reservation for backward classes in seats and offices in rural local bodies, following due allocation and rotation procedures. 34% reservation restored for backward classes in rural local bodies in Andhra Pradesh. Implementation follows prescribed procedures of allocation, rotation, and enervation for women under relevant acts and rules. Constitutional references, Article 243D of the Constitution of India regarding reservation of seats in panchayats. The Andhra Pradesh government is examining North Andhra's mineral potential to boost local processing and establish a rare earth minerals hub. Key Minister, Shri Kollu Ravindra. Target region, North Andhra Pradesh. Objective, boost local mineral processing and rare earth production. The Vijayawada Railway Division expanded its solar capacity to support Indian Railways net zero carbon goal. Division, Vijayawada Railway Division. Total solar capacity reached 4,864 kilowatt peak across 265 installations. Aligns with Indian Railways net zero carbon target. This is all for now. Let us meet again in the next session of Current Affairs. Until then, test your knowledge by attempting quizzes. If our resources are useful to you and think may benefit your friends, well-wishers and neighborhood, share the links to them. And finally, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss latest updates. Also coming soon on our channel, General Studies series, Arithmetic and Mental Ability series, and Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning. Stay tuned.